Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in our self-imposed challenge in Shadow Empire. What people? Well, we're dealing with the planet. Where the planet at the beginning of the game had less than 1 million people on it. Which meant that the entire population was, I think, limited to the 6 cities the Major started with. Well, all the population within cities. There were some free folk out there, but they don't score until you get them into cities. We're continuing on round 124 here. Over the intern, we killed 3,100 infantry in self-defense, while losing 300 in exchange. We have 7 citizens wings. One wishes what to do with these quack doctors. A corp discovery. You want to organize a party. We'll pass this to the responsible bureaucrat.
Yes, sir.
Which city are you pissing off here? Been a bit of incident. Okay, so that's this city. Generate some unrest. On the other hand, I don't have a problem punishing you, so we're going to punish you.
Yes,
Lose some here, it'll be fine. Secret Service can stay as it is. Given to the demands. You have my full support to mitigate the quack doctors. Not critical success, so no damage gain. I'll take the ammo. You demand the release of a spy, and I do want to gain relation with you. So we accept, you can have your spy back. Why? Or was that on a different major? Oh, the Volpum Imperium. Okay. So that was a different major. That's one Republic. You're the Volpum Imperium. Okay. Cold blackmail. Let's have him contact the cold person first. Got trade, which they don't have enough opinion of us. We just did diplomacy with them. We already have trade with them, and they're having a bad day. Potentially could get scientific cooperation with them, and they're having a bad day, so maybe we want to buff them. Buy us a little bit more time while the guys are distracted.
Order received.
Civil delegation.
Copy that.
Got 8 points of approval with them. Oh, maybe I did that in the wrong order, because that might have made us worse here. No, it didn't.
Order received.
Shame. Private investment, we do it on the news small zone to try to get some investment going there. Double check the state of the mines, make sure we don't have any mines that are empty. We don't yet. We're at the point where we want to play the card because we're going to need it next turn. That was Torona.
Roger that.
And we're going through political power pretty quickly at this point. Corp discovery, give me something good. Security tactics is not something good. I'm gonna trade some political power or trade some fate points for some political power because we're getting really low. You're a member of the 3rd Light. I don't know where all the third is, and I don't know where all the first is, but what we do know is getting the slightly better positions. Okay, that should toughen them up a bit. Social otter. Okay.
We're under fire. Requesting backup. Requesting backup.
Here we go.
All clear, sir.
The hex cleared. Three more turns for recruiting. We're gonna hold off on building armored cars. Because the power plant's gonna eat like 60% of our metal. Got the machines, we're just waiting for it to build. Okay. Yeah, we'll strategically move you out over here to help. You on the road, strategically move you down there to help him. Although this person probably doesn't need any help based on the fact that the train has gone to full mountain. Which probably means this is just a really long ridge. Right, so this ridge goes from here all the way up to here. And it's surprisingly wide. That's a nice big mountain range. See how small the private workers are here. They've built one private lab, and they don't have enough people to work it. Okay. I think that's where we're gonna end this turn. We're gonna cycle the turn. Okay, the bureaucratic office was delayed, but it'll finish next turn. Then we'll complete our demand. Let me guess, the rare earth price is still to the moon? Yeah. If we actually had good production of rare earth, it'd be something worth selling. I suppose in a way that's why we want to get the admin strain down here so we can mine that rare earth mine. We've got like 6 turns left before we need to expand there. Admin strain's still coming down here. We're at 13%. Yeah, so it was a good idea to hand these off at least. This one shouldn't be making the strain worse, ignore that one. So let's cycle the turn before I go around just contemplating how I can try to make the economy better. When the answer is what you're doing, it takes time. Takes time. Lots of time. Killed 700 infantry in self-defense. We have 3 decisions on round 125. We achieved our goal. We have the ability to bribe these guys to keep them from declaring war on us for just a little bit longer.
Order received.
That barely did anything.
We'll go.
Okay, and this was why we wanted to do the peripheral mining. Oil reserve in the well is down to 0, so this will be probably the last expand of that well.
Roger that.
Difficulty is 174, we rolled a 169. This is resulted in a relative failure. Although there are some accidents, some existing reserves are now harder to mine. 15,000 more in the deposit, although it has now been reduced to 1, because it was at 2 ease of mining, which means it can no longer be expanded. So in 13, 14-ish turns, that well will be empty. Off to buy slaves, we will take the slaves. I think that was this one. Which in a way, that's actually maybe a good thing. Because when this well runs out, then they'll disassemble the civilian well, freeing up 5.2 thousand workers to do something else. Do anything else. So while that'll be bad from an oil perspective, that might mean they come and, say, expand one of the metal mines, which would probably in the short run be better.
We're under fire. Requesting backup. All clear, sir.
Okay. That's another hex dealt with. 2 more turns, we'll add you to this zone, significantly reducing that admin strain. This stuff's down to 13. Malice doesn't go away until it drops below 10.
We're under fire. Requesting backup. Requesting backup.
Okay. Suppose I could attack this case. This is might be a Marauder Plus. Good attack with the tank. New information there. not going to attack there. That's a bit... Well, it didn't go well the last time we attacked blind, so let's not repeat a failure. What's the likelihood I need to do the purple mining? That's the metal mine. We still got like 4 or 5 turns on it. That one is also... Actually, no, that was the one we just upgraded, I think. That one's going to go in a couple turns. Oh no, that was the one we just upgraded. So they're both going to go in a couple turns. So I'm basically predicting that I'm going to lose 2/3 of my oil income in 13 to 14 turns. Okay. That's a state of affairs. That's just going to happen. There's not much I can do about it. Prospecting-wise, we do think we have more things to find.
Roger that.
Found another oil deposit, although it's probably not in a great place.
Roger that.
And another metal deposit, again, probably not in a great place. Get some more political power, because again, we're running low on it. Oh, those guys are pretty nice. We'll give them
Order
diplomacy.
received.
Okay, let's, do I need replacements? No. So let's end the turn. If we don't need any replacements next turn, we'll raise a brigade of light infantry to help deal with some of the problems that we have going on. Such as a large, exposed flank with a potentially hostile foe. A large, exposed flank with a unknown situation. Yeah, we got lots of things to deal. Need lots of troops. Right now, I think my best play against those guys to the south, next time we end up with war with them, is just have so much that we don't need to fight them for every hex. They're going to be scared to get encircled and pull back in most places. Killed 2,300 infantry. We did lose 800. And I think it was mostly the Xenos that we lost. We have one decision of winning this. Major diplomacy minor. Yeah, we'll leave it balanced for the moment.
Roger that.
Okay. They backed off there, so can we take these hexes? Yes, okay. Oh, I don't like that hex didn't fall.
clear, sir.
That explains why I didn't fall. Yep.
We're under fire. Requesting backup. Requesting backup.
Okay, that's fine. It's not great, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So, it's time to raise that new brigade. OHQ, regular infantry. Don't use the SHQ this time, just the regular infantry. There we go. Push that over here. Mainly so I can pull out the fractional bits of the existing units. So pull you out. Pull you out. Yeah, pull those three out. That one as well. Strategic move. How many of these can we get pushed out at the front here? Oh, by the magic of slightly different roads, all of them. Okay. And then the power plant is online in theory? Yeah. We don't know... Well, we're currently... How much power? I don't need this to run at full power, do I? No, we want like 125 power. Let's set it to 50% productivity. We don't need to run full speed. Because I don't want to burn through the petrol, especially because the petrol situation is getting worse. It's just far cheaper than a solar power. I need to get in here for metal soil filtration. I suppose petrol-wise we could get away with deep core. Right, so we're already possibly able to discover deep core. Did I set it to helicopter, not turboprop? Okay, doesn't really matter much. Next turn, we're going to do that transfer. Do this transfer. That'll start helping with the admin strain here. Although this zone isn't... Well, it produces food. So this is admin strain's affecting the food here. So we'll have a lot more food coming in once we start fixing that admin strain. The admin strain fix here is helping with the metal. Still sitting at 13. I think this is going to be the source of it, and it might just sit at 13, in which case that's what's going to be. We got 5 turns. Or we need to do peripheral mining there. And that'll be the last peripheral mining for that iron or that metal deposit. Guild 1,000 infantry over the intern. We have 5 decisions on round 127. We've got a moral high standing to deal with. It's probably not too hard to deal with. You're asking us to participate. Focus on research, please. I don't need the Appliance Science Council anytime soon. We got you favoring discovery. Because right now we actually have you on automated turret, which is probably not the optimal military tech. Because really I want rocketry or RPG. Yeah.
Roger that.
Okay, so this is the initial expand, so we're not rolling as good here. So I definitely got to support to make sure it succeeds. Does succeed, was not a critical success. New commander for the 5th Light Infantry Brigade. Yeah, you can take whoever's available. Just to empty the backbench at this point.
All clear, sir.
Okay, we only oversupplied power by like 8, so we're not worry too much about power. Get rid of you in the next turn. I'm gonna keep coming down here. I probably want to run through that gap, but we got the whole mountain range. I'm probably better off coming down the other side of the mountain range, because then if we get into conflict with these guys, for this bit down here, we're defending the ridge instead of defending a thin strip on one side of the ridge, on their side of the ridge. That sounds like a good way to get into trouble.
We're under fire.
Nope.
Requesting backup.
It's just a pack of wild animals over here.
Requesting backup.
I think fighting for certain parts of this planet here is going to be like fighting the Emu Wars.
Requesting backup.
Just so much wildlife. That way. These guys are going to take over again. Once we deal with this pocket, we're going to move off the non-independent ones. You're going to leave, you're going to leave, you're going to stay, you're going to leave, you're going to leave. So we're going to lose 4, gain 2, basically. Although this group is mainly going to be trying to take the left side of the mountain. Because we've taken the right side, right? So we just don't want them crossing back over the mountain. We're ready with the colonists, so it is time for you to be delegated. Delegating you to Note Town. Which means Note Town needs like 3,000 more workers.
Copy that.
Here we go. At some point we're going to run a rail line down here. The railhead is going to... Constructing it doesn't take workers. Apparently constructing it doesn't take workers. Okay, it's going to need like 300 workers, so we could do that next turn if we wanted to. We had the metal for it. We might have the metal for it. Let's get the rail in first. So I can't go all the way in one go. Okay, that costs a lot of metal, but we were able to attach. Next turn, we're going to start building a railhead asset here. Could actually build it this turn, because it'd be running off of Bunterapon's worker pool, and then transfer it over. Sure.
Order received.
And then we'll delegate that over as well. And at which point we'll disassemble the supply base. Because I think the rail will do everything the supply base is doing there. Probably disassemble this supply base actually as well. Yeah, let's disband you. Oh, I think it only disbanded one level? Oh no, it takes a turn. It's still there for the turn, right. Makes sense. And then we want to do you. Oh, and it's disbanded single level, so if we only had one level there, then we only have one level there. We still have one here, that's 2 levels. We're gonna start working to get rid of that, just so it's less of a problem. The admin strain's down to 11 here, that's good to see. Get it sub 10 will be good. And the private workers not having the best of days, because they're paid less than the private sector, because the private sector's got a manpower shortage. I wonder why they're so rich. Logan, I got some surplus industry, we got some surplus people. Let's start raising some more buggies. That'll give us something to come over to the west here and help. I think the 4 we got in the east are probably going to be good enough. Get like 4 in the west. Start expanding that direction. Arguably get 4 in the north, we can go north. Go every direction if we got enough. And mining-wise, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have an oil problem soon. The metal problem can be solved. The oil problem... Well, the oil problem is gonna get solved by using less vehicles. It's the long-term answer to that. Well, there's the short-term answer to that. Long-term answer to that is, one of the synthetic oil production techs. Guild 1800 infantry for the cost of 300 of our own. We have 2 decisions awaiting us on round 128. Okay, we're probably going to leave that as is. Do need more foreign affairs cards to try to improve the relations with the neighbor. And anything else I'd have to steal away from the Supreme Council to give us political power problems.
Copy that.
Okay, so the decisions were easy. Of course, it does as it sometimes does, and walks out of the circumvent. It can't. was the wrong place for it to move and still get to attack. 6v1 should still be enough to get it to surrender.
All clear, sir.
There we go. Oh, and I didn't save enough industry, so that didn't complete. Well, I can delegate this now, so we'll delegate this to Note Town. And we'll have the industry this turn. Give you some workers. Worst case scenario, those end up as city population. The city desperately needs more people to work the private jobs, so that's maybe not the end of the world.
All clear, sir. All clear, sir.
In here, we're running into ammunition problems, because we don't have enough supply coming through the road, as usually happens when you get into heavy fights like this. Probably just beyond the action point range. Down at the end of that road. Oh, I'm surprised we're still... Oh, yeah, okay. Barely within range, barely... Okay, that one's actually decently in range, but that one's not giving us great... Not pulling a lot over here. That's what's going on. Yes, we don't have enough pull. Or where we have too much pull, right? It's so it's not getting divided in such a way that we get over there. Fair enough. Traffic signs. We are getting the rail all the way down here, although it's penalized to get the rail this far. We're rocking basically 50% penalty on the rail because of the action points. So that's probably as far as the rail. Well, the rail doesn't even want to go really that far before we put on the rail station in. Alright, and that probably, what is that putting, say, the rail station there? No, so somewhere between the two. Roundabout here to there. And if we wanted to put a rail station here, this wouldn't be a bad place for water extraction. Although the water quality is terrible. Yeah. So, given that... we'll disband that asset. And that combined should help lower the admin strain. In fact, it already has helped lower the admin strain. We're down to 81. We were up in the 90s here. If this comes down to something reasonable, we can set up a rare earth metal extractor on this deposit. And that doesn't look like much, because it doesn't. We'll be able to peripheral mine once here, which will put a lot in here, although it'll be a very bad mine. But that's this planet. This planet is a bad mine. There are no good mines here. There's just various degrees of bad. Do I have a... I don't. I was going to look for A mining card, which we don't have. 315 credits there. Could be worse. Could be better, but it could be worse. We've hit like 200. I think we've hit 200 in the past. Doing it there. We're going to get bribes. I've got no bribes. I've already got an embassy with you. Not open contact with them, so we should do that.
Order received.
There we go. We opened trade with these guys. We haven't. Well, let's do
Order
that.
received.
Yep, these guys are hostile. We'll do what we can. I suppose at this point war could break out, and that would just be bad. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I suppose war could just break out at this point, and that would just be bad. Because we've got this whole section here that's undefended. I suppose we'd probably pretty quickly free up, like we'd cut the line there. So this blob over here would be unsupplied. Although we don't know how spooky their army is. It's probably still about as spooky as it was before. It's giving us problems. Okay. Yep, not much to do. It's most of my construction done. Most of my construction's done. Well, except the railhead. That'll be done next turn. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Let's see that railhead get done. One thing I can do to start toughening units up that doesn't necessarily require more manpower is I can start doing the infantry machine gun hybrid units. Give them a little bit more defensive capacity. It'll make them much more dependent on the bullets, which is going to make the supply situation worse in some places. But hopefully with the rail line coming in, we've got enough logistics that's not the problem. Yeah, turn we've been taking losses, 129. 5 decisions. And they've declared. Okay, so someone quit. And we're at war with them. I'm not sure I can send the civil delegation while we're at war. No, that's a one-minute peace situation. Okay. Send spies, or send rebellion. That might bother them for a bit, so let's do that.
Understood.
And we made them hate us more. Well, that's not good. Okay, so needless to say, we need more personnel in uniform, so I'm finally giving in to a volunteer drive. 55. So, yeah, there we go. That'll give us basically another brigade next turn.
Copy that.
Let's do that one. We'll see if we do that. Computing node. We can scrap it to get volcanic energy tapping, which I don't really care about, or get more BP a turn. Oh, I think I needed the mic before I sneeze there. We're going to harness the computer node.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Order received.
And we're being blackmailed. We'll pay double the blackmail.
Order received.
Okay, everyone that we can that actually has a proper position they're supposed to be defending. Maybe even some of the ones that don't have a proper position they're supposed to be defending back on the road, please. Got a place to ship you out to. I don't think you're going to keep staying over here, but... you're going to stay over here. We need someone to hold the picket. Nope, we found the enemy. Nope.
All clear, sir.
Okay, yeah, there's more troops up here than I was hoping. And they're still... granted, they're not necessarily any worse than they were before. The problem is we haven't gotten any worse than before, and we weren't necessarily doing super happy before. Airman commander or unit under the first. We can get you to the first location. Okay. Your unit under the first. Let's get you to the first location. Yeah, let's actually garrison that town. Into the fifth. These people from the third. Ready to go. Oh, and I need a replacement for the third. Let's grab 2 militaries if possible. Okay, so situations are not going well. At least you're done, so we're gonna get more logistics out here. Enman strain's recovering rapidly.
Copy that.
Yeah, we'll see how these guys respond. Mostly it was us walking into them and not actually shooting them, so they probably still got pretty high readiness. Whereas the guys that got all damaged from walking into them have terrible readiness. Okay, so if I can deal with these guys, I think that's a marauder. That's an animal. Lots of animals over here. I think you're an animal. And an armor car going over. Let's bring that down here. I don't think we have the ability to just move it to... Well, I could actually push it all the way to the front. That's an option. Okay. Get us some armor in here. They do have bazookas, so we're gonna have... the armor is not immune to the bazookas. What's the upgrade? 1,000 machine guns. Let's try to do that. We've just swapped you over to MG Brigade on the 4th. And then we need 1,000 machine guns to go out. And if that rail asset works well, that should actually be deployed. Tightening up, strengthening our leftern flank there. Western flank. Yeah, we'll scientifically incorporate them. Victory point wise, we're still in first. We actually have the most planet. Although that's going to be hard to hold on to if we're not able to hold ground against an enemy or at war with. We're at war actually with number 3. They did end up winning over the Macedonian Republic. Bring them pretty close to us in land space, though not in population. They're still much more heavily drafted, even after bringing the other guy down, than we are relative to us. So we've still got the most population. So yeah, hopefully we can hold against them and not have a complete collapse of the line. Let's cycle the turn and see how the situation's going. Okay, there's maybe some signs that we're getting that the enemy doesn't have enough units to form a cohesive battle line similar to us, and that we're seeing them withdraw in some locations. We killed 100 infantry over the intern. It's round 130. We have 5 decisions. There goes the organic furnace, so that's going to make us have a power problem coming up. Ammo compactation, that's not too much of a problem. Definitely work with that. You need extra funds. We have funds. Have some funds. Hidden village discovered. Let them be so we get extra colonists.
Order received.
Minor workshop, getting some of the demands. They're holding celebrations. President is holding a celebration in honor of the people. Received a rather cold invitation to attend, but it's an invitation nonetheless. Send a big delegation, send a small delegation, or their invitation. Well, we want the relationship increase with the person. We're guaranteed to succeed either way. It's whether or not we get a... We're at the level where the fist is actually going to just take the mind away that this is giving us. Because it's like... Gonna give us 1 or 2 mind. Fist... yeah. So, unless it was telling me exactly, like, oh, you're gonna get more relation increase with the big delegation. I mean, that's small.
Order received.
Camp 3, 32 suitability. Camp 2, 30 suitability. Okay, so we'll take
Order
32.
received.
Okay, and apparently we're already having power problems? The thing just shut down and you immediately have power problems? That's worrisome. Because that's going to force me to turn the power plant up to keep the power coming. Although it appeared to be only be a minor problem. Okay, let's turn the power production up to 75%, see if that fixes it. Anyway, while it does maybe look like they did some withdrawals, they're still there. Okay. Okay, and they withdrew, they didn't abandon the position. Okay. And we did get the twin barrels delivered, so the machine guns did arrive. And we got our influx of volunteers. I don't have the industry to do that. That's a shame. Improvised IP, get some more next turn. 278's not a lot.
Copy that.
Okay, these guys are of the third, so we can bring the rest of the third over. Or attempt to bring the rest of the third over. Okay, don't have enough recon to know what those are in the forest. We've got manpower to fill new uniforms, but I don't actually have the industry to to make the uniforms, per se. A little bit of a different problem. First time we've had that problem in a while. Temperature? What's the... Oh, no. No. They're not willing. Difficulty is a formula based on the difference between your relation and the AI's intention. Their attention is apparently very negative, so this is basically impossible. Yeah. So we have to pull more of the send them gift cards, which we don't have right now. Send civil delegations to other people. We'll send one over here.
Copy that.
Can open trade with them.
Order
Let's
received.
do that. And we've dropped down to 52%, so that's a good direction for that. Here we're still sitting at 13, so yeah, at this point I think it's just the mine here. So I don't think we're gonna get much lower than 13. Although we might get a little bit lower when the well runs out. We are literally at full employment in the capital, okay. So every time I draft, I'm literally the 50-something thousand I'll draft will be coming out of the employment pool. For peace, I'd definitely be thinking to do that. Victory overview! We're still in first, even after pulling the population out of the country, although that dropped our population score by a lot, showing you how much, or how few people are on the planet. We still have the most planet. We'll see if we can keep it. They're not attacking. And I'm not sure how much of that is they don't have a cohesive battle plan. Like this is all unsecured in theory down here, so it might be that they just are still withdrawing. See that? This is where we're going to put a part break in. I think, yeah, this is where we're going to go ahead and put a part break in. We'll make the command over here. Instead of running the turn, because this is the fourth part of the stream, this is where I'm going to head and end the stream. So if you're watching on YouTube, there likely will be a part up tomorrow. As we'll probably get around to recording another part for you by your tomorrow. In fact, it should probably have been recorded 1 to 2 days before when you're watching this. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll be streaming this again in 4 days. Let me quickly bring up the stream schedule. The upcoming schedule is that tomorrow will be Endless Legends. We'll be doing that on the 9th. So if you're watching on YouTube, that would presumably hopefully be in your past at this point. And so that'll be tomorrow. The day after that will be Field Glory Empires, Persia. The day after that will be the continuation of Terra Invicta, our resistance run. I think we're getting at the point where if we just solve the volatiles once and for all, we'll be good. Like we've got the techs I think we need. Maybe not necessarily to deliver the ships to the enemy, but to fight. Assuming we can build enough ships and with enough armor, which is all derived off of can we make enough volatiles. And then Friday, which is 4 days from now, will be when we continue Shadow Empire. I am feeling the constriction here. So we're on the podium, but because of how constricted the resources are, like, there's not much difference between being on the podium and not being on the podium, right? Okay, there's actually... Well, there's not much difference between us being first on the podium and us being paranoid about fighting the guy that's third on the podium, right? So this is the third guy. This is number 3. Gold v bronze here, but last go we had at bronze. Okay, last go we had at bronze, we took a campaign that was like up here and managed to get all the way down to here. In fact, we all go down to their city. But that was because they were at war with someone else. They're not at war with that person anymore. So I think the only reason they're being hesitant is they've got a big exposed flank. And the AI doesn't want to get overly committed in a location if it doesn't have a flank, or if it has massive exposed flank. Like, if I was them, this would be being pulled back. Over the next couple turns, if this doesn't get pulled back, oh, that's making me paranoid. Because that would imply they think they've got enough firepower here that they don't need to pull back. That salient is in that sort of position where they just, like, yeah, no, we're happy here. That's bad. We don't know if there's anyone here. Our reconnaissance is not telling us. Our reconnaissance is implying there's no one here, but here it's not telling us, and that's a little worrisome. If there is no one there, they'll probably pull back to put someone there. Right? I don't think they're so dense that they completely abandon their supply lines. Of course, I mismoved here and actually took the road down here, so they might not actually have any supply up there right now, and they might have to panic build a dirt road. We'll see. But yeah, so that's the upcoming schedule. That's how this game is going. It's going. If you want to see someone struggle with a low supply and low people, you're watching it. Because yeah, I hesitate to say we've got enough industry we can take over the world. I got enough industry that if I had infinite manpower, we could probably take over the world. I don't have infinite manpower, which means I need to have wide open flanks to be dense in spots, right? So the only place where we've got a full line is we got this lake to this lake controlled. Ultra loose picket in here. Basically nothing between there. We've got like 4 guys covering the whole flank. At this point, if it wasn't for the fact that most of the guys over here are the mercs anyway, I might just abandon holding the slave trader front and the nomad front, because I just don't. We've improved relations enough with them that they're probably not coming for us. Though the slave traders are definitely on the bar, and the nomads are starting to think that whenever they come saying, "Do you want to buy this?" I have to buy that, because if I let their opinion drop, this is a massive unexposed border. They're going to come through it. It's going to become a problem. We got an unaligned border. Most of that is stable. We do have a very unstable portion down here, just because of all the animals. We got basically the emu war down here, and we're maybe not winning the emu war, which makes it harder for us to pull troops to deal with the actual war. And we're not getting the diplomacy cards. We need to get these guys back to peace. And I probably didn't, pissing them off by trying to get a rebellion up against them was maybe not the best of choices. Relation, 0. Desired relation, 0. They like the current state of affairs. At least the current leader does. I can probably try to embed more spies, try to get them to change factions again. Alright, we've moved the Humanist Shrine educators up. I think they're the ones I need in government to get back to blackmailing. Although I'm surprised they're as grumpy as they are. Because I'd assume these guys are actually still in charge. These guys, I think, were the blackmailers. I think we're the blackmailers. And apparently have tariffs on imports from them. Not that presumably being at war, we're importing anything from them. These guys are militarists. These are the guys that actually we've got particularly good relations with, to such a degree that we're actually above their desired relations limit. Okay, before I keep yammering on, this is where we're going to head and put the part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, as I said, there'll probably be a part up tomorrow, because we should get around to recording one. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll be streaming this again in 4 days. If you got any comments, this is probably the last call for comments on Twitch. With that, I'm going to head and wish YouTube the best of luck and a good time, and bye for now.